So today at MIgardener, we're going to sow tomato for this summer garden. Today I'm showing you a seed starting mix composition that I'm doing for the tomato. So we'll need one full bag of Miracle Gro 8.8 liter. You use all of it, and then you add about 4.5 cups of compost sheet manure. It can be any kind of compost. Also, we're going to use a fertilizer from Actisol. It's a pure hens manure. We're going to use about 27 grams of it. So to start, I put my compost in my seed starting mix. I'll mix it, and then I'll add my fertilizer and remix it and use that composition for my tomato and my celery. So I'll show you that. But before, if you can like this video and subscribe, it'll encourage me to continue doing more video for you guys. So I'm just gonna mix everything correctly. Once that's done, we'll put water, and we want a consistent that when you press, it doesn't drip too much water. So you'll need a lot of water to start, but make sure to do, I prefer to do a little bit at a time, so because if you have too much, you'll need to add, but if you don't have enough water, you just add more water. So it's easier to add water than adding a seed starting mix because you'll need to open another bag. So just showing you what you don't want. You don't want water pouring like that. So I'm watering the seed starting mix. I prefer that because if we put it dry in the container, and so you'll need to water, it will all collide together and it will be harder for the seed to sprout and grow correctly. If we do the watering first, then sow the seed, you won't need to water too much. I'll show you what I do. I still water a little bit, but with a spray. And if you see big pieces, just remove it. Like that. So if I press, there's not really water going through. Just barely. So that's the consistent you want. And you can, like, it's not too much breaking. No, it's a good consistent. So So now I'll put the Actisol fertilizer, mix it, and then I'll pour in the container so that we can sow the tomato and celery. So I use a tray under it so that the excess of soil, I can just scoop it up better than having it all everywhere. So I like to put a little bit more because, so what I like to do is I take my container of a couple inch from the ground and then just drop it. So compact everything and have less air. And make sure that everything is all filled out straight and ready to sow. So now I'll show you what it looks like. I'll sow it. We don't sow too deep because the seeds are not big. So we tend to sow about twice or 3 times the height of the seed. So we'll sow, and then after, I won't cover it with soil. I'll cover it with the Promix vermiculite. It'll keep the moisture, and then I'll spray with that, and like that it won't move the seeds or overwater the seed. So once that's done, I'll put the cover and it'll be ready to be in my greenhouse to sprout, and I'll follow up in a couple of weeks to show you how it looks like. So we're going to start with it's all MIgardener seeds. I really like them. The price affordable, shipping too. They're about $2 each pack, and after $12 of order, free shipping. So it's my first time doing a lot of MIgardener seeds. This winter I have done Minutina, Siam Queen Basil from MIgardener, and it germinated really well. I was able to eat a couple of leaves of them. So I'm very excited to start those tomatoes from MIgardener. So the first variety we're going to do, it's a German Johnson tomato. So the excess of soil when I dig, I'll just cover back a little bit, but not too much, so that the holes are covered a little bit. Then I'll take a full hand and put it on it. Not too much too, so that it doesn't block the tomato from sprouting. So I'll do each of that, and then I'll show you how I water them. So the second one is a black cream tomato. So it's an indeterminate variety. They're pretty much all indeterminate. This one has a weight average of 1 pound. Sweet, smoky, and low acid in flavor. It's a cross from Beefsteak and Cherokee Purple. this one is a watermelon beefsteak. It's also an indeterminate, and they weigh about 1 to 2 pounds. It's an heirloom variety about from 1800. So this one is a Wisconsin 55. It's an indeterminate plant and it's thrives in the Midwest growing condition. It's full of flavor and crack resistant with strong skin of solid red flesh. And it has a tolerance to so many climates. And the last variety of tomato that we are going to sow is the Sheboygan. It's also indeterminate, and it first grows in Wisconsin since the early 1900s. It's medium of 6-ounce fruit, the perfect balance, sweetness and acidity. It's great for sauce. So now we're ready to water them. So what I do is that I have this spray and I start just by doing a little bit, because if you go all straight, it'll move the soil plus the vermiculite. So I just spray down so it waters a little bit, and then after I'll do a longer. So since we already have watered the mix, it's already moist. By just spraying a little bit and just make sure it's really moist for the seeds to be able to germinate. And we'll put the dome over it, covering the holes, and then just make sure that it's always moist, because once the seeds start germinate, if it dries, the seed will die. So keep an eye on it, make sure it's moist. I like to know if you already know your temperature that you set up, that it won't dry fast. You can do it like you think. I prefer the first couple of days, make sure it's moist, because you don't want to dry too fast. And because it's a new setup with the light, it's more hot than I used to have. So I hope you like this video. I'll do an update in the next couple of weeks. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.